Our next presenter is Jian, National University of Singapore, breaking the wall of passive wound damages.
Hi, afternoon all. So my name is Jian. Today I'm talking about the breaking of the wall of passive wound bandages. So the normal wound healing process proceeds in 4 sequential phases, namely hemostasis, inflammation, proliferation, and tissue remodeling, regardless of the type of wounds. Unfortunately, if the wounds are not poorly managed, the chronic wounds can develop. So in most cases, underlying such abortive regeneration, the reasons for that are because of the excessive local inflammation leading to the destruction of newly formed tissues. So this can enter another cycle because new tissues are not formed on the wound bed to protect it from external inflammatory stimuli. So this stimuli can trigger rounds of the inflammation leading to this non-healing state. Therefore, the interception of this inflammation is actually one of the primary goals of all wound therapy. Unfortunately, the wound bandages in the market today are made out of innate synthetic materials that do not stop host biology in terms of inflammation and drive that towards healing. Fortunately, recent researchers have discovered that mesenchymal stem cells, or in short, MSC, are able to play a prominent role in terms of immunomodulation. So MSC at the wound site are able to reverse tissue injury via both the cell empowerment as well as the cell replacement pathway. So the cell replacement pathway is more intuitive because it's known that stem cells can differentiate into different cell types to replenish lost tissue. As for the cell empowerment pathway, it was only recently understood that upon stimulation by wound inflammatory cytokines such as TNF-alpha and interferon gamma, mesenchymal stem cells can secrete immunosuppressive factors that can attenuate inflammation. Although mesenchymal stem cells can be intradermally injected onto wound beds, their retention rate is low. Therefore, some form of matrix has to go along with it for appropriate delivery onto wound beds. Okay. So our lab is focused on developing hydrogels or biologic wound dressing from hydrogels. So hydrogels are actually advanced wound dressing that promote moist wound healing as compared to conventional dry wound healing like gauzes. They are 3D meshwork of polymers. They are capable of imbibing large amount of water. Apart from that, they also mimic the natural cell and microenvironment in which mesenchymal stem cells can also be incorporated. So what we envision is that if we put the mesenchymal stem cells, viable mesenchymal stem cells into these hydrogels, they can become a tool for clinical skin tissue engineering that will drive or that will usher in an era of new era of treatment for those 15 million patients in the world suffering from chronic wounds. Thank you.
Wouldn't the introduction of all the moisture actually introduce bacterial growth?
Yeah, that's a good question. So for moisture, and usually hydrogels comes with a secondary barrier to protect the wound from bacterial infiltration. Yeah. So it itself is not a primary, it's a primary dressing, but it provides
Thank you, Mr.
secondary dressing.
Jian.
Yeah.